Good evening. You're watching the main news on HKIBC. I'm Raymond Yeung.
And I'm Carain. Here's a look at tonight's top stories. Scuffles broke out during a National Day protest outside government headquarters.
Chief Executive calls on Hong Kongers to establish a strong sense of one country.
Death toll climbs 3 days after devastating earthquake and tsunami swept Indonesia.
Scuffles broke out during a National Day protest outside government headquarters after police denied a pro-independence protester from entering an open plaza.
Organizer the Civil Human Rights Front said 1,500 people attended the march, lower than the 2,000 it expected. Police put the turnout at 1,250, Yeung reports.
Get to the bottom of the Sha-Tin Central Link, the marchers chanted as they departed East Point Road in Causeway Bay at 3 p.m. Organizer the Civil Human Rights Front said the government is so occupied on tackling independence activists. It is neglecting public safety by turning a blind eye on the scandal-plagued rail project. Protesters are saying instead of fixing the problems which surfaced, the government relaxed safety rules to allow construction to press ahead. Another focus of this year's National Day March is the recent ban of pro-independence Hong Kong National Party. Holding a portrait of the party's founder, Andy Chan, this woman said she saw nothing wrong from the activists. He should be given the right to speak his mind, she said. Others fear the imminent enactment of Article 23 of the Basic Law, which outlaws acts of secession and treason. What was originally a peaceful rally turned chaotic around 1 hour after it started, when the first batch of demonstrators arrived at their destination, government headquarters in Tan Mar. Scuffles broke out between police and a group of protesters who were denied access into the forecourt on the grounds that they were holding materials advocating independence or self-determination. After an hour-long negotiation, the group was finally let in. Organizer laid the blame on the government.
Before the march, we didn't receive any notice or announcement about what slogan is prohibited or what slogan is allowed. We don't support the independence of Hong Kong, but it doesn't mean that we can eliminate their voice.
Ho added he would be very disappointed if the government decides to ban all protesters from using the forecourt in the future after this incident. Yeung, HKIBC.
Hong Kongers must establish a strong sense of one country and correctly handle the city's relationship with Beijing, Chief Executive Carrie Lam said in her National Day reception speech.
In what could be remarks directed at recent pro-independence movements, Lam said one country is like the roots of a tree which must run deep and strong. Chief Executive Carrie Lam was joined by husband Lam Siu-po and her predecessor Leung Chun-ying at Golden Bohini Square this morning. Other guests included the head of Beijing's liaison office Wang Zhimin, commanders of the PLA Hong Kong garrison, government officials and lawmakers. But Tung Chee-hwa, the city's first chief executive, was absent, while his successor Donald Tsang was still serving time in jail. Government flying service helicopters then performed a flyover of the venue. Fireboats also made a ceremonial appearance among a parade of ships.
Cheers.
The ceremony then moved indoors with a National Day reception at the Convention and Exhibition Center.
適逢今年係國家改革開放40週年。
In her speech, Lam said the celebration this year is particularly meaningful as it coincides with the 40th anniversary of China's economic reform, as well as the commissioning of the high-speed rail link. The chief executive urged Hong Kongers not to forget the original spirit of the one country, two systems principle and uphold the country's sovereignty, security and development interests. Citing comments from President Xi Jinping last year, Lam described one country as the roots of a tree. For a tree to grow tall and blossom, its roots must run deep and strong, she said, adding Hong Kong must correctly handle its relationship with the central government. The majority of her 9-minute speech revolved around the two economic initiatives, namely the Belt and Road Initiative and the Greater Bay Area Development Blueprint. Lam urged Hong Kong to proactively seize the opportunities and share prosperity with the country.
Hundreds of travelers from the mainland attempted to walk past heavy traffic to cross the border at the Lok Ma Chau checkpoint this morning. Footage captured on mobile phones showed a long line of traffic towards Lok Ma Chau near the Huanggang port on the mainland. Commuters who lost patience ditched the vehicles and attempted to walk across the border through the traffic. They were immediately stopped by Hong Kong police. Travelers and drivers said the jam started at about 3 a.m. Some said they were stuck on the road for at least 3 hours before they could enter Hong Kong. The Immigration Department has not confirmed allegations that a computer system malfunction had caused the pile-up. It has been a week since the much-anticipated high-speed rail began operation, but passenger figures are still falling short of its original projection.
Even the Golden Week national holidays could not give it a much-needed boost, as the MTR had to drastically cut train frequencies to avoid resource wastage, Yeung reports.
A scene not quite what MTR bosses expected. As the mainland started a week-long public holiday today,